Purnamit iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you for joining. We got a little late today, so apologize for starting late. Since we have less time, we're going to do a chant. It's called Chapter a Day. We'll read Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 12, the verse and the translations. So we are 5 of us here, and maybe some more will join. So everyone can read 2 verses, at least 1 or 2 verses, 2 or together, or maybe 3. So everyone will get a chance to do some reading, and at the end, if time permits, we will do some summary also, but just the Sanskrit and the translation. Is it okay? So we'll be able to cover that in about 20 minutes. It has 20 verses. The chapter 12 is entitled Devotional Service or Bhakti Yoga. Very, very nice chapter. Talks about what is the topmost bhakti, and talks about the different levels of devotees, and then it talks about the different wonderful qualities of devotees, which are very, very dear to the Lord. So without further delay, we are going to read chapter 12 today. If anyone would like to read, you can raise your hand, and then your turn will come. You can read 2 verses, okay. So we'll begin with text number 1 onwards. Arjuna Uvacha Evam Satata Yuktaye Bhaktastvam Paryupasate Ye Chapi Aksharam Avyaktam Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha. Translation. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Mishya Mano Ye Mam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas me Yukta Tamamataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Okay, so I see a lot of hands raised. So maybe Baldev Prabhu can read, then Bhaswati Mataji, then Priti Mataji, and then Prasad family, whoever is present. So let's go in that order, 2 verses each, and let's start. Hari.
Hare Krishna devotees, don't pranam, all good Srila Prabhupada. Je takkharam anidesham abhektam parjupashate sarvatra gama achintam cha kutastham achalam dhruvam Sauniyammo indriya grammam sarvatra samabuddhaya te prapnuvanti mabevo sarvabhuta hite rata. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Who was next in the queue?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 5. क्लेशाधिकातरस्तेषम् अभक्तसतचेतसम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहावाद्भिरवप्यते. Translation: For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Can you scroll up? ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मायि सन्न्यास्य मत्परः अनन्यनैव योगेन मम ध्यायात् अन्त उपसते तेषाम् अहं समुद्धार्त मृत्यु संसार सागरत् भावामि न चिरत् पार्थ माया अविसित चेतसम्. Translation: But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Back to the next devotees.
I can go next. Maya eva man atatsva mai buddhim nivesaya nivasisyasi mai eva ata uradhvam na samsayah. Translation: Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. Atchittam samadatum na shaknoshi mai stiram abhyasayogena tato mami chachaptum dhananjaya. My dear Arjun, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me.
Thank you.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna. Text 10, Jai Srila Prabhupada. अभ्यासेऽपि असमर्थोऽसि मतकर्मा परमो भव मदर्थम् अपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिम् अवाप्स्यसि. Translation: If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Text 11. अथा इतद् अपि असक्तोऽसि कर्तुम् मदयोगम् आश्रितः सर्वकर्म फल त्यागम तथा कुरु यतात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated. Hari Bol.
Okay. Prem Sankirtan Prabhu, would you like to read? And Shloka, you can read after him.
Should I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 12. Shreya hi jnanam abhyasaj jnanad dhyanam vishishyate dhyanat karma phalatyagas tyaga chantir anantaram. Translation by His Divine Grace, our Charana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. Text 13 and 14. Adhyasta sarva bhutanam mati rakaruna evacha nirmama nira ahankara sama dukha sukhakshmi santusta satatam yogi jatatma dhrira nishchaya mai arpita mana buddhir jo mad bhakta same priya. Translation: one who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Rama Mataji, you can read the next one.
Text 15. Yasman no dvijate loka, loka no dvijate chaya. Soya, Sacha, me priya. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not served by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. Text 16. Anapeksha shuchi daksha udasino gata vyatha sarvaramha parityagi yo madbhakta samipriya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Wow. Anyone else who has not read and would like to read? Yes, Ruby Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Sarvabhishtu to Srila Prabhupada. Text 17. Yo no hrusyati na drushti na yo no hrusyati na dveshti na sochati na kangsati subha subha parityagi bhaktiman yaha same priyaha. Translation: one who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. Text 18 and 19. Samasutrau cha mitre cha tatha manapamanyoho sitosna sukha dukkhesu samaha sangha vivarjitaha. tulya ninda stutirma mauni santusto yana kenachit aniketaha sthiramatir bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Translation. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who does not care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. Haribol Prabhu, back to you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, someone in the Prasad's family wants to read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 20. Ye tu dharmamritamidam yathoktam paryupasate Shraddha parama bhaktaste ativa me priye. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me.
Haribol. Thank you, dear Vaishnavas, for reading. So wonderful. All these verses are so nice. Krishna is telling us who is dear to him, all this. Especially from text number 13 onwards. He says all these qualities which are very dear to the Supreme Lord, very dear to me, very dear to me, very dear to me. You see, very dear to me, very dear to me, very, very dear to me. So if you want to become dear to the Lord, this is what it takes. The Lord is saying this. Since we have 7 more minutes, we'll read purport for one of the verses. Let's see if we can read the purport of this verse. Yeah, not too big. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitri karuna evacha nirmamo nirhankara sama dukkha sukha shami santushta satam yogi yatatma dridha nishchaya mayyarpita mano buddhis yo madbhakta same priyaha. One who is not envious but is kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal both in happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. So many powerful qualities are shared here. Coming again, so purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Coming again to the point of devotional service, the Lord is describing the transcendental qualifications of a pure devotee in these 2 verses. Transcendental qualifications of a pure devotee. A pure devotee is never disturbed in any circumstances. Wow. Never disturbed in any circumstances. So powerful. That's a pure devotee. Sama, sukha, dukkha. Nor is he envious of anyone. So it's a good check how much pure devotee we are. 0%, 50%, 100%. We can check by these. Nor envious of anyone. Nor does a devotee become his enemy's enemy. Enemy's enemy. This person is acting as my enemy due to my own past deeds. So it is better to suffer than to protest. Haribol. This person is basically giving me my karma. Better to suffer than to protest. This is Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.4.18. It is stated that te nukampam susumikshamanu bhunjani vatma kritam vipakam Hridvagvapurбhir-vidadhan-namaste jivetya-mukti pade sadaya bhag. Very, 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 very important verse for all devotees. Brahmaji says in Canto 10, Chapter 14. Everyone should try to memorize this verse. Whenever a devotee is in distress or has fallen into difficulty, he thinks that it is Lord's mercy upon him. Wow. I was sharing my heart with one of my teachers, and he specifically asked me to read this chapter. Now I'm understanding why. Because great souls are very, very merciful. So whenever we are in difficulty, the devotee should think it's Lord's mercy upon me, upon him. That is ourself. He thinks, thanks to my past misdeeds, I should suffer far, far greater than I'm suffering now. So it is by the mercy of the Supreme Lord that I am not getting all the punishment I am due. Wow. Not blaming, not complaining, why he said, why she said. If I get like a stitch or like a cut and then some stitches, oh, my hand was supposed to be cut off, but I only got a few stitches. I'm only getting a small token. I should be suffering far, far greater, but Krishna is so kind. I'm just getting a little punishment by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is always calm, quiet, and patient. Calm, quiet, and patient. Wow. Isn't that powerful? Despite many distressful conditions. That's the condition of a pure devotee. Be calm, quiet, and patient. CPQ or PCQ, whatever way you ought to remember. Calm, quiet, and patient in all the ups and downs, distressful conditions. These purports are very, very powerful, isn't it? A devotee is always kind to everyone, even to this enemy. Wow. Nirmama means that a devotee does not attach much importance to the pains and the troubles pertaining to the body because he knows perfectly well that he is not the material body. Body, ego, material body, physical body, subtle body, all are bodies, right? So, oh, he hurt my ego, oh, he hurt my self-respect, oh, he hurt my emotion. Ultimately, does not give much importance to the pains, right? Adi bhautik, miseries by other living beings, miseries by other circumstances, one's own body and mind. Let's not attach much importance. It's trivial. Kamala dala jala jivana talamala. It's not the main thing. The main thing is my attachment to Krishna. He does not identify with the body, therefore he's freed from the conception of false ego and is occupied in happiness and distress. He is tolerant and he is satisfied with whatever comes by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Tolerant and satisfied with whatever comes by the grace of the Supreme Lord. He does not endeavor so much to achieve something with great difficulty. Very powerful again. If it's not destined, do not over endeavor for it. Do not fight too much for it. It's not, it's not in destiny, does not do atyahara. And this is the secret. He is always joyful. Mare Krishna, Rakhe ki, Rakhe Krishna, Mare ki. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram kahi. Yahe Vidhi Rakhe Ram, Tahe Vidhi Rahi. Mukh mein ho Ram Naam, Ram seva haath mein. Tu akela nahi pyare, Ram tere saath mein. Right? This is the mood of Hanuman. Today is Hanuman Jayanti. Whatever Krishna arranges, whatever Lord Ram arranges, best of the best, he can be the most ferocious and most humble at the same time. Always dependent fully on Ram. If we see today's Hanuman Jayanti, all these qualities Hanumanji had, is it not? Right? Calm, patient, tolerant, no enemy, but still persevering a lot. Very joyful, always joyful. Have you seen Hanumanji, in depression? or Hanumanji saying, oh, this is bad, that's bad, he was unfair, she was unfair. No. He's completely perfect mystic. And Hanumanji also fits here, since today is Hanuman Jayanti, because he's fixed in the instructions received from the spiritual master. Wow. How is he completely, he's fixed in the instructions received from Guru, and because his senses are controlled, he is determined. Wow, controlled senses, very important, determined. He is not swayed by false arguments because no one can lead him from the fixed determination of devotional service. Dhrida vrata, right? That's what we read here. Let's see the word to it. Dhrida nishchaya, mai arpita manobuddhi, right? Yatatma dhrida nishchaya. So bhakti hone chahiye dhrida nishchaya, right? Like lined in the stone. Heaven or hell, I'll not give up Krishna consciousness. Heaven or hell, I'll not give up Prabhupada's lotus feet, ISKCON. He is fully conscious that Krishna is the eternal Lord, so no one can disturb him. Krishna is the eternal Lord, so no one can disturb him. All these qualifications enable him to fix his mind and intelligence entirely on the Supreme Lord. Such a standard of devotional service is undoubtedly very rare. Very rare. But a devotee becomes situated in that stage by following the regulated principles of devotional service. Furthermore, the Lord says that such a devotee is very dear to him, for the Lord is always pleased by all his activities in full Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Isn't that powerful? One paragraph, one big paragraph, but so many, nectarian points. Please, I would like to hear something struck you, something you like, something, some thoughts or reflections anyone has before we wrap up. Anyone wants to share anything? Anything struck you? Anything you liked?
Yeah,
Oh, yes, Prabhuji.
so Srila Prabhupada is explaining about the tolerance here. I mean, I can see that in Krishna, even in second chapter also, very beginning, he's talked about this tolerance. Matras parshustu konteo. In the same here, he says. So that's kind of like very, Krishna wants us to be tolerant to any condition.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Sama dukkha sukha shami. Tolerance. And heat and cold, up and down. In the next verse also he says, right? Sama ninda stuti. Sometimes there will be name fame, sometimes there will be defame. The theme of tolerance, it will be a good project if someone wishes to do. At least in 20 plus verses, Krishna talks about tolerance in the Bhagavad Gita. Directly or indirectly, like tolerate heat or cold, day or night, up and down, balance, right? Ninda, stuti, shitoshana, or the changing of the body, dhiras tatra na muyati, right? The sober person is not. So all these are tolerant. Up and down, loss or victory or defeat, right? So at least 20 plus verses. Can you imagine, like out of 700 verses, like on one theme, 20, 30 verses are there about tolerance. And in the Bhagavatam also, the whole, like practical examples are there. Thank you, Prabhuji, for bringing that important point. Anyone else? Okay, so we will wrap up here. Thank you. And to all of you for joining and reading this wonderful chapter. Bhagavad Gita Upanishad ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.